Today I present to you another contender in the high-end 4K webcam space called Tiny 2 from OBSBOT, which coincidentally or not has a lot of similar features to the Insta360 Link webcam. That's why in today's video we're going to be putting these two webcams up against one another to uncover their differences and to determine which webcam has the best overall image quality. So let's first start off by seeing what you get in the OBSBOT Tiny 2 packaging. For starters, you'll get the standard user setup manual. The rest of the items will be in this nice hard storage carrying case. Inside this case, you'll see the USB-C cable, the USB-C to USB-A adapter. You'll get a magnetic screen mounting clip for the webcam, and of course, the Tiny 2 webcam itself. Now, this OBSBOT Tiny 2 webcam starts at a price of $329. The resolution goes up to 4K at 30 FPS or 1080p at 60 FPS. The webcam has a 1/1.5 inch CMOS sensor, which is honestly one of the biggest I've ever seen in a webcam. It's on a 2-axis gimbal, it has AI tracking features, and it has a webcam control app. The Insta360 Link webcam is eerily similar, with the price starting at $299. The resolution goes up to 4K at 30 FPS or 1080p at 60 FPS. This webcam has a 1/2 inch sensor, which is also very big. It's on a 3-axis gimbal, has AI tracking features, and it has a Mac and Windows control application. If we look at the physical construction of these two webcams, the Insta360 Link has a smaller build compared to the OBSBOT webcam. Now, using the mounts below these webcams, you can easily attach these to your monitor or your computer screen to stabilize the camera. The Insta360 Link, it's all one device, which is nice, but with the OBSBOT's detachable screen mounting clip, you get a bit more flexibility with how you can position the camera. Keep in mind, you'll also have the option to mount these webcams to a tripod using the standard screw insert on the bottom. What you're seeing now are both webcams with their default image settings recorded in 4K quality. Can you guys guess which one is which? Well, the OBSBOT Tiny 2 webcam is on the right and the Insta360 Link is on the left. What do you guys think of the image quality compared with one another? Let's actually zoom in on the images here. I'm noticing that the Insta360 Link has a more natural, contrasted look and shows a bit more detail. But let's switch over to a low lighting setup. And now looking at the images, I gotta say that the OBSBOT Tiny 2 is handling the darkness pretty well. My face is looking more pronounced in the Insta360. If we go ahead and add some more lighting to this dark setup, we can see that both webcams are still handling the adjustment well, but the Tiny 2 is still looking more balanced and clear. For those of you guys that stream games late into the night or you like to film in dark spaces, low light performance in a webcam is something that you're really going to want to consider. Now, these webcams also have an HDR feature that can be enabled through their software. From my test, the HDR looked pretty good on the Insta360, but I think it's worth noting that the Insta360 only supports up to 1080p 30 resolution with this feature. On OBSBOT Tiny 2, you can go up to 4K 30 using HDR. It just requires some better lighting to make it all work. As for autofocusing, I think both webcams did a pretty decent job, but looking at the footage here, I was slightly more impressed with the Insta360 Link's focusing capabilities. It looked to be a bit more consistent. I bet you're curious what the microphones sound like, so what you're listening to right now is the OBSBOT microphone. Would you be comfortable using this microphone for commentary over your videos, or even if you're in meetings? Or would you rather go with the Insta360 Link's built-in noise-canceling microphones? What do you think of the quality compared to the OBSBOT's microphones? Would you use this instead? I will say though that this microphone quality is passing, but it definitely can't replace a full XLR or even a USB microphone setup. Next up, both webcams have AI features that work as designed, such as the whiteboard and desk view modes. But of course, most notably, the AI face tracking feature is what makes these webcams so unique, yet so alike at the same time. The tracking features can be enabled and disabled by just raising your hand as the gesture for both of these webcams. From my test, I found that the Insta360 Link would at times lose me if I was moving a bit too fast. The OBSBOT Tiny 2 tended to keep up better, but this webcam, when moving too far left or too far to the right, had a bit of an awkward camera positioning since it's only on a 2-axis gimbal. But overall, I'd say in any normal environment, these webcams track very well. Now, those AI tracking features that I just showed between OBSBOT Tiny 2 and the Insta360 Link webcam, those were the tracking tracking features that they had in common, but OBSBOT comes in hot with a few additional ones. The first being a hand tracking feature, which worked pretty well. Wherever I took my hand, the webcam would just follow. This is definitely a nice to have if you're trying to point things out. There, Baby Yoda. Another AI feature is the ability to track certain areas of your body. Not sure if I'd ever use something like this, but it's here. Hey, hold up, that's as low as we're going. If we jump over to the beauty filters tab, the OBSBOT app has some additional unique filters, such as being able to apply a background blur to your image, and even selecting filters to change the look of your face. This one is definitely not my thing, plus it's more resource intensive, which is why I had to knock the video preview quality from 4K to 1080p. But there's an even better feature that the Insta360 Link control software has over the OBSBOT. Since the Insta360 Link is on a 3-axis gimbal, you can enable the streamer mode, which will give you the ability to set a vertical orientation, which is perfect if you're filming shorts, TikToks, or Reels. Now, having some ability to control these webcams outside of the application is really important. Under the More tab, just past the gesture section, you'll see several different voice control options to tell your Tiny 2 what to do. Hi, Tiny. Position 1. Additionally, OBSBOT has a separate remote controller that you can purchase to be able to control your webcam without having to be right within the application. But I like the Stream Deck app that OBSBOT offers even more. I know not everybody may have a Stream Deck, but for those of you guys that are avid live streamers and even gamers, you might have this on hand for productivity and to make your life easier by performing actions at the single click of a button. That's what this OBSBOT Stream Deck application accomplishes. If we look at Insta360 Link, you'll see a little mobile icon on the top right hand side of the controller software. Go ahead and select that. You're gonna see a QR code pop up on the screen. Scan that and that'll open up a web page app on your phone where you can control your Insta360 Link completely for free. One of the other great features I love about both of these webcams is that if you go idle or you just stop using the webcams, they will go into privacy mode. These webcams won't just continuously keep running if they're not actively being used, which is nice. Okay, here's a recap of the test results that we found in this video and the winners of each category. Number 1, cost, gotta give it to the Insta360 Link as it is $30 cheaper for the same resolution. For the build quality, I gotta give it to the Insta360 Link as well. It's much more smaller, compact. I can throw it and fit it in more places and I don't have to worry about the mount coming apart or missing. For webcam image quality during the day, I gotta give it to the Insta360 here. I thought the quality was just a little bit more sharp, but webcam image quality for the night, I gotta give it to the OBSBOT Tiny 2. I just like the fact that I could have a variety of different lighting scenarios, dark or light at nighttime, and this webcam could just adjust to it. It's like no problem. Microphone quality, I couldn't really tell which one was better or worse. I think it's a tie. AI tracking quality, I gotta give it to the OBSBOT Tiny 2. As we saw in the demonstration, the Insta360 Link would lose me if I was moving too fast. If we look at the AI features that are offered between these two webcams, I gotta give it to the OBSBOT Tiny 2 camera here as well. There's just more at my disposal that I can play around with. For the best user interface and performance for the webcam control applications, I gotta give it to the Insta360 Link here. I found that it was much more stable and it was actually easier to navigate. But my biggest gripe with the OBSBOT Mac application is that it's only Intel based, not Apple Silicon, which was one of the machines I was testing on. Windows computers and Intel Macs, everything was pretty peachy, but for my M1, M2, or newer Mac computers, right now the 4K recording is just unusable. Look how choppy and behind the footage is. Luckily, the Insta360 Link controller software does have Apple Silicon support and it runs pretty well. OBSBOT, you're gonna need to get on this. For the last category of remote control capabilities, this one was a tough one, but I'm gonna tie it, but I'm leaning a little bit biased towards OBSBOT just because they have that Stream Deck app and I use a Stream Deck myself. For you individually, it's gonna come down to what's most useful and important to you. It's gonna vary from person to person, so it's not gonna be the same for everyone, but look at how you create content or how you use webcams, and that'll help make your decision based off the information from this video.